Even the girlies who like Ethan are dreading the debate. They want you guys to make out and forget your beef. I mean, look, that is, I'm oftentimes too kind for my own good. Okay. But when your community is like so comfortable, I saw someone on the H3 production subreddit posting David Horowitz. What the f is going on here? Look at this. I'm sorry, but Hasan is like objectively not more handsome than Ethan, like the accepted narrative says. Norman Finkelstein, one of Hasan's favorite historians, on From the River to the Sea. Sweet, by the way. I don't know what the f this is. Bingo card. Where? I saw there was a David Horowitz post. God damn, they post so much about me on that subreddit. Holy moly. Dog, they leaked Ethan's debate prep early. What the is this, dude? You're so stupid. Another note on the IRA, it hasn't been raised. Total capable IRA, about 1,700 people, including roughly 1,000 members of the British security forces. Oh my God. They're having such a hard time trying to make this narrative stick, where it's like, no. All of the other successful emancipatory movements are good, not this one. There's a post saying Ethan is debating you on behalf of all the 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust. Oh my God. Where the frick is it? Anyway, whatever. There was a David Horowitz post I saw, but I can't find it right now. This is what you wanted? Oh yeah, this has 1,000 upvotes, bro. This has 1,000 upvotes. The for it after what he said was chilling. Bro, do these guys know what they're doing over there? Like, do they know what's happening over there? They're literally posting David Horowitz, man. Bro, this isn't drama. Y'all are so insane. This is the type of shit that like even like other supposedly liberal pro-Israel communities are not supposed to touch. You know what I mean? You suck. I mean, sure. David Horowitz, who died the other day, David Joel Horowitz, was an American conservative writer and activist. He was a founder and president of the David Horowitz Freedom Center. Okay? He is a rabid Islamophobe. Like, he was one of these guys. Let me tell you something, okay? David Horowitz and guys like David Horowitz are basically like Himmler, but for Muslims, okay? David Horowitz initially is a movement guy, leftist, turned neocon, turned Trump defender. And yeah, see, New York Times has a glaringly, nice piece about it, of course. Once a Marxist, he came to embrace hard right positions, including the falsehood that Mr. Trump won in 2020, and to mentor Stephen Miller, later the Trump advisor. Wow, you're an idiot. Yeah. David Horowitz is declared a far right, or I guess like a extremist, a far right extremist by the SPLC. Southern Poverty Law Center. Here it is. Here's Mr. Horowitz. Despite Horowitz being a founding intellectual member of the New Left in the 1960s, an advocate for civil rights and equality, he has since, in the late 1980s, become a driving force of anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant, and anti-black movements. The guy that they posted on the subreddit, okay, that they think, oh, this is how Ethan should expose us on today. I'm going to give you some choice words, okay? I'm drawing attention to all these neo-Nazi Muslims and leftists because this is the overlooked but real neo-Nazi movement in America. Richard Spencer and his Charlottesville idiots are marginal, have no significant following, unlike SJP, Students for Justice for Palestine, and the campus Jew-hating left. The faculties of our liberal arts schools in America and in England are dominated by communists and pros, and that may sound extreme, but it's actually not. The difference between Islamic fanatics or Jew haters and Hitler is that Hitler hid the final solution, and the Iranians and Hezbollah shouted from the rooftops, and the whole Muslim world accepts it. He's, President Obama, an evil man. In that sense, yes, he is destroying our borders. He will send emissaries to Ferguson for a street thug who got himself killed attempting to disarm a police officer resisting arrest. But when a beautiful young woman who happens to be white and is a good Samaritan, when she is murdered by someone that he is chiefly responsible for getting into this country, he won't even pick up the phone and call her parents. He is systematically destroying America. August 4th, 2015. Obama is an anti-American radical, and I'm sure he's a Muslim, but he certainly isn't a Christian. I'm actually sure he's a Muslim. He certainly isn't a Christian. He's a pretend Christian in the same way he's a pretend American. It really is disgraceful. He's inviting them to behead more Americans when he should be attacking them with our military. Once again, I'm gonna post this right now. I'm gonna show this right now. 1,000 upvotes. What happened to this community, bro? What is going on? Today we fight for the 6 million Jews that died in the... The debate is attracting the eyes of some real media personalities. Oh yeah. What time? No matter what happens today, the episode with Hasan Abi, just remember this. I have my health, I have my family, and I have my hairline. What time? Adam Friedland. Even the girlies who like Ethan are dreading the debate. They want you guys to make out and forget your beef. I mean, look, I'm oftentimes too kind for my own good. Okay. But when your community is like so comfortable Horowitz posting without even thinking about what's going on there, that's pretty crazy. That's like, this is a straightforwardly right-wing outlet at this point, a right-wing community. Now, the other thing that I was also going to point to was the other thing that I wanted to point to also was the Free Press article that he posted about me. They were like, this guy is so sexy and he's making Hamas also sexy, right? That dude is like a massive transphobe. Like, you're not even looking into, you're just posting people that are right-wing at a pro-Trump outlet and are insanely up Donald Trump's asshole while trying to present yourself as this like liberal bastion. Okay, this liberal guy, the real defender of liberalism. And it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is a funny tweet. Can someone explain the Ethan Klein thing to me? I watched the entire Sam Cedar interview and I don't get it. He thinks Israel's committing it, but he wants everyone to have a bit more grace towards Israel while they commit. Is that it? Did you see the New York Post write-up? No. Yo, Hasan, what time is the debate going to be? Not America, that's why I'm asking. 12:30. In 1 hour. I was a part of the community. Any criticism post gets deleted and removed. I've had many of my posts removed because I lightly criticize Ethan and Israel's points. Sad what happened to that community. I know. Good take by Emil DeRosa. Good question that she's asking. Oh. Go to 2 in the video on the subreddit so everyone understands what kind of freak this dude is. Ethan about to be Jordan in the 90s today. I think so too. I think he's going to destroy me. I'll be honest. I think he'll
gather in Israel, so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
For it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and showing everybody what's here. And you're wearing a neckerchief.
If you understood.
Anyway, considering here's what I suspect. Here's what I suspect will go down. Okay, here are my predictions. Considering that I thought the context nuke was going to feature new details and not things that I had addressed a million times over, and regardless of the fact that I haven't watched it in its entirety and have seen bits and pieces of it, and most of the information there was things that I had addressed over the course of the year, my suspicion is that he is probably going to, one, try to talk about not issues and disagreements between Israel and Palestine, but specifically about how he has been victimized in this process. He's going to tie back like everything that's happened to him in this process, like CPS calls, skulls, like all this shit. He is going to, he's most likely going to talk about like, just like really frivolous stuff that he thinks are bangers, like the sword, the tier list, Sabra hummus. And he'll most likely even say some of the false claims that he's made, like some of the ridiculous claims he's made in terms of like how obsessive he's gotten talking about me and how little I talked about him until recently. And he'll say that liberals are drooling over the very handsome terror-cheering leftist after fawning New York Times profile. Yeah, no, I know. Even New York Post had to fucking say. New York Post is also a massive Hasbara publisher, so that's not surprising that they would also do the same thing that the Free Press did. But yeah, dog catcher versus dog walker. Like, I think he's just going to bring up a bunch of shit that he brought up with Sam Cedar, or wanted to bring up with Sam Cedar, and try to relitigate the context nuke and try to present me as like a vicious anti-Semite to his audience, and it's not going to be issue centered at all. But I don't care about any of that. I care about talking about Israel Palestine. So I think if he's graceful, he will most likely allow me to have some breathing room. He'll most likely let me say my piece. I asked Dan to moderate it. I asked, the Queen Dan to moderate it. Don't laugh. I don't care which Dan, not fucking the band Dan. I'm talking about his Dan. And it's okay, even if he comes after me, and I don't think he's gonna be doing that. It's fine. Like, I was like, listen, I think you'll be understanding and graceful, and allow me to say my piece regardless of our disagreements, is what I'm going to say. Is the button in play? What if he apologizes and says you're right? Real question. Fantastic. That's amazing. That never happens usually, and I don't think it will happen. Well, you can see the point that you groomed him to think socialism is good, an innocent 40-year-old man tricked by the devil communist. Yeah, I will. He's talked shit about you too. You're too naive, man. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. Are you nervous? No. Why would I be fucking nervous? This is not about winning and losing. I don't think this is about like getting Ethan to agree to seeing my worldview. I think like after the Sam Cedar stuff, like it's pretty obvious that he is firmly committed to his position, and I don't think he's going to change that position. I don't think that that's happening. I don't suspect him changing his position at all. I think he's going to try to showcase how pro-Palestinian he is, like his bona fides on his pro-Palestinian position, and then that's it. I think cry more. Does it? Why is this channel so anti-critic? Y'all some crybabies. You a hoe. You such a grifter, and your audience doesn't see it. Thank you. I'm glad you see it, chatter. Yeah, guy who has been saying the exact same things for the past decade publicly. Definitely a grifter. I hope that from this, at least one person in Ethan's chance comes away with an increased understanding. Yeah. My goal here isn't to like decouple Ethan from his audience or to fucking belittle him, to humiliate him and like cause him financial harm or anything. I don't give a shit about any of that. My goal is at the end of the day for some people that are going to be tuning into this debate to learn new things that they did not previously know about the dynamic between like militant resistance against the Zionist settler colonial occupation and its endless expansionist principles, and why the way they understand it, the way that they think things are going is kind of silly. It's difficult. I'm not actually talking against Ethan here. I'm talking against Western chauvinism, American exceptionalism. These are concepts that are firmly established, and that's precisely the reason why Ethan can get away with not really ever making an argument, but simply just standing there and being like, I'm on the side of the good guys. You're on the side of the bad guys. You like Hamas. You like Hezbollah. You like the Houthis. Like, and most people in that audience, and in just like a broader audience in general, are not going to come into that conversation with charitability to be like, hold on, let me hear what this guy has to fucking say. No, they're going to be like, he's right. Those are scary Muslims. They are bad guys. They're the worst guys. The debate might be canceled. I don't think it will be. I don't know why you guys are saying it will be. What the? Oh, that's why you said it. Okay. Yeah. If Ethan sees that, it's over. Yeah. Most people have a Marvel movie mindset around this sort of stuff. And it's like, at this point, what are his stated disagreements? Just thinks that Israeli society and Israel itself is more redeemable. He didn't really contest any of the crimes and he runs cover for them. Yeah, I know. Kanye doing a track where he complains about being divorced and goes Heil Hitler a bunch to get attention to it in its own way. Still evidence he got his finger on the pulse of the times. Yo, that's true. He low-key knows what's up. Like he ain't wrong about that. That is what's popping right now. Not bad. Not too shabby for a 50-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? What is that, moonshine? It's whiskey, man. I'm drinking my whiskey. No, it's cold brew, chat. Calm down. Anyway, are you going to debate him and Gila too? I don't know, dude. Why are you guys asking me this shit? I don't have any fucking answers for you. I don't know what he's going to do. Kanye tops charts in Israel is not even remotely surprising, but I don't know if this is real or not. World War III. That's not. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, let's get some primes going in the chat. We got a lot of people in here. Twitch Prime is free, ladies and gentlemen. Dan is as much against you as Ethan. This was not a good choice for him to moderate. I have no other options, but I think it'll be fine. It's real? No. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Actually, I don't know why I'm acting like I'm surprised by this. Come on now. Yeah, let's get some gifted subs going. Let's get some primes going. A lot of people in the chat today. A lot of people who are interested in what's going on, it seems. You should have asked Steiny to moderate. Dude, come on. Dan is at least competent. What are you talking about? He might be against me on some of these issues, but he is at the very least a competent individual. Steiny doesn't know anything. He has no political worldview. Please try not to scream. No, I know. My biggest thing is going to be regulating my temperature for sure. Okay? My biggest, what I'm going to try to do here is to actively regulate my temperature. That's my goal here. I don't want to be in a position where I'm getting agitated. What's the point of a debate if he and his followers have no intention or likely the capability to actively listen and learn? So the point of all debates is it's just like pseudo-intellectual sparring, okay? It's just talking points bonanza. The reality of the matter is debates ultimately are, they can be productive, but they're not the best possible way of getting your point across. But the reason why most people, myself included, engage in debates every now and then is not necessarily to change the mind of the person that you're talking to, because I feel like that's ineffective usually, but it's to change the minds of people that are in the margins. My policy on this has always been the same. You got 40% on the one side, 40% on the other side. 40% are my fans. They're not going to have their minds changed on the issues. 40% are Ethan's fans. They're not going to have their minds changed on these issues. But in the middle, I bring 10%, he brings 10%, right? Those people are in the margins. They are more malleable, okay? And the goal with most debates is to basically ridicule your opponent or intellectually dominate them, try to present traps towards them and get them to fall into those rhetorical traps to deliver some quick, piffy one-liners that make those people in the margins feel like you're actually winning the conversation. The other educational component within a debate is also, if done correctly, is to test out your arguments, obviously, against counter narratives coming from your ideological opponents, your interlocutors. So, there is some educational value to it. My goal ultimately is to try to get people to understand what my position is, but more so to just, get people in Ethan's audience to no longer repeat such bottom of the barrel, basic Hasbro talking points. Like, because I worry that their investment in this is almost entirely around like Ethan's personal feelings. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see such a large community of otherwise progressive individuals falling down this nefarious path at a time when Donald Trump is just fucking, doing fascism. So that's it.